Are you a first-time home buyer? Well, here's some additional costs that you should prepare for when buying your home. When you're out searching for a house, and along with that, in most cases, a mortgage loan, it's easy to focus on upfront costs, like the price of the home, closing costs, whether or not you're using a VA loan, and how big your down payment's going to be. But before you buy, that's not all you should be thinking about. Homeownership has a lot of additional costs that you might not have considered before running out to buy a house. And knowing these ahead of time means you're not going to be unhappily surprised or caught off guard when they pop up. Now, if you haven't figured it out, it's Friday, and you know that because you watch us every Friday. And when I'm in red, it's because it's Red Friday. Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. It's our way of supporting the military. Speaking of red, down there in the corner right side of your screen is a red button. Click it, subscribe, follow us. We want you to be informed every single time we put out videos like this. So let's get right back into it. Today we're talking about some unexpected costs. Unexpected costs with buying a home. Okay, we're not going to talk about the ones that everyone's familiar with. We're going to talk about the ones that generally for first-time buyers more than seasoned buyers get caught off by. Now let's look at some of them that you're likely going to encounter. Especially again if you're a first-time home buyer. Appliances and furnishings. Okay? Those are not cheap. When you buy a new house, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to come with any furniture and very few, if any, appliances. Okay? What about maintenance and repairs? If you've been a renter and the HVAC goes out or lightning hits the roof and there's now a hole in the roof, you don't worry about that as a renter. Once you own the home, you are in charge of all of the ongoing maintenance and necessary repairs. These can be costly, okay? Landscaping, yard care. If you're buying a house that someone's already lived in, landscaping's probably already there. And if you own your own lawn, mower and everything else, maybe not a big deal for you. But if you're buying a new house that's just been constructed or it's in one of these neighborhoods where they've built 500 homes in one shot, you're going to have to landscape the backyard for sure in a certain amount of time, or you're going to be in breach of certain agreements and contracts you made. Landscaping and yard care can add up. How about utility costs? Now, you may have paid those as a renter, but some rent is just rent, and the landlord either wraps it into your rental payment or they cover the utilities. This is now all on you as a homeowner. Certainly as a renter, you were not paying property taxes and you didn't have to insure the home. You might have insured your personal, clothing, your personal furniture and whatnot, but as the homeowner, we talk about this in other videos, PITI, okay? This is your mortgage payment, your principal and interest, and then your taxes and your insurance are now your responsibility. And if you're buying a condo or if you're going into like a planned community, what about HOA fees? Okay, you may now start paying for the HOA fees. Let's go ahead and quickly look at each of these categories in just a little bit more depth. Now, appliance and furnishings. When you move into the home, the previous owners may have decided to leave their appliances. Maybe they decided to take them out. Okay, sellers are not obligated to leave behind their refrigerators and their dishwashers, ovens, washers, dryers, or any appliances for that matter. That is something that you're going to have to either look in the contract when you buy the home. We have videos about that, by the way. Or you're going to have to just prepare and budget to buy them if they're not part of the agreement. Just remember, it's going to be hard to move into a home and go a few days without a refrigerator or a stove. So just be prepared is what I'm saying. In addition, most sellers will be taking all of their furniture, the wall art, the hangings with them. You're going to enter into a blank canvas, brand new home, and I know that's exciting. I just want you to be ready for some of the unexpected costs when you do that. I mean, couches, curtains, curtain rods, tables. I remember the first time I bought a house, and it almost felt like I was in quicksand because I thought I had it all figured out, and then I'm watching TV one morning and the sun's just blaring in this amazing window. I'm looking out into the Utah mountains and I realized, oh man, I gotta get some curtains put up there. That adds up, and this stuff continues to happen for those first 3 to 6 months that you're in the house. Let's talk about maintenance and repairs. This one normally catches people way off guard, especially first-time home buyers. Because like I mentioned at the beginning, when you're renting, when things break down, Landlord's a phone call away, the property management company's a phone call away, and then they're out there fixing it. It's now your home, and it's your responsibility and your dime to get things fixed when they break down or stop functioning correctly. What would things like that be? Well, water heaters break down, the roof could be damaged. You know, you get a big storm, tree falls onto the roof, boom, you got to fix the roof. What about the AC unit going out? We're in like a heat wave right now, at least out here in Utah, and I think most of the country. And I've heard all sorts of people saying, our air conditioner's been running double time and then it breaks down. Well, that's now your responsibility. Your pipes might start leaking. You might find a crack in the foundation, moldy walls, termite damage. The list is endless, and I'm not saying this to scare you, because being a homeowner is amazing. There's a lot of upside, but these are things that you should budget for and expect to have happen at some point. Just set some money aside before you buy the house or every single month after you've bought the house so that you have this money ready should something unexpected happen. Now, keeping up with the proper maintenance is going to prolong the life of all of the things I just talked about and prevent the need, hopefully, for major repairs. So let's talk about ongoing maintenance on things like make sure you replace your air filters. That's going to exponentially expand the life expectancy of your HVAC system. It's probably worth signing up for pest control. It's not that expensive, but it'll keep wood-destroying insects out of the house. It'll keep a lot of problems from happening. I just started doing this after how old am I? I don't know, 20, 25 years of home ownership. We just started in the last few years because of a fire issue that we had. We now get our ducts and our dryer vents cleaned. I've never paid for dryer vent cleaning ever. Do it. We had a small fire, believe it or not, behind one of our dryers, and it came from not cleaning out our dryer vents. It could have been catastrophic. Luckily, it wasn't. But personal opinion there, pay to have someone come and clean out your dryer vents. Make sure you keep up on your roof. Every, 15, 20, 30 years. I'm not a roof specialist, but make sure you're adding additional shingles or getting your roof looked at. Touching up paint and stuff like that's not really going to elongate the life expectancy of your home, but it is good maintenance. Get your gutters cleaned out. Anything you can do. It's like going and getting your teeth cleaned. If you get your teeth cleaned every 6 months, you're less likely to have your teeth falling out later in life. That's good maintenance. Landscaping and yard care. This stuff can add up. Where was I there? I didn't write it down, but I talked about it. Landscaping and yard care for a first-time home buyer could be something that you're not ready for. You might not realize this, but depending on where you live in the country, you've got to keep your grass watered so that your home looks nice, and this could increase your monthly utility costs much more than what you were expecting or from what you were used to at an apartment or somewhere else where you didn't have a yard. You might also need to buy new tools, lawnmowers, pruning equipment, snow removal, shovels. It's possible that you might need to lay down new grass, do a full-blown landscaping overhaul on a new home, put in sprinkler systems. You're going to have to decide this when you're out looking at homes. Now, depending on the condition of the yard, these charges might be anywhere between $10,000 to $40,000 depending on how big the project is. As we already mentioned, owning a yard can increase the cost of your water bill. So all of your utilities are something that you should consider. You might also see higher electricity bills since homes are normally bigger than apartments and they take more energy to keep warm or cool depending on what time of the year it is. In addition, you may now be on the hook for other utilities that you weren't responsible for previously, like trash pickup, sewer service, gas service, and who knows what else depending on where you live. You're also now going to be responsible for your taxes and insurance. And sometimes new homeowners think of these as like closing costs because you can pay for them up front for the first year. But after year one, they start becoming recurring costs. Now again, they're normally added into your mortgage payment. So just know that taxes increase over time and so does insurance. So these will go up over time. Some of the things that will cause your taxes and insurance to go up, well, simply an increase in premiums, right? So if you live in an area where there's considerable storms coming or there's wildfires, the world is changing, but just like healthcare costs go up over time, so does the cost to insure a home. Let's get back to the HOA dues that I put down here. When you purchase a home, that's part of a homeowners association. You're going to be required to pay some monthly dues. These also have the potential to increase depending on the HOA board, policy changes, all that sort of stuff. Now, HOA dues are commonly billed separately from your mortgage payment. They're not normally part of this PITI. You're going to get an invoice at the end of each month or quarterly. There's normally a third-party like management company that does all the billing for your HOA. So make sure you watch out for that bill and know going into the home what that HOA payment is going to be. Now, while this all might sound like a lot, we're not sharing these costs to scare you away from buying a home. Go buy a home. What we want you to do is be ready for these unexpected costs so that you make the right decision when you're out shopping for a home. There's no greater financial opportunity in this country, in my opinion, than to become a homeowner. So do it, but do it with education and with confidence. Thanks for watching. This is Eric. We'll see you next week with another Red Friday video.